I've spoken to hundreds of audiences, have won many public speaking competitions, and actually coach people for a living. And here's what I've learned. You only have to master 5 skills to get great at public speaking. In this video, I'll explain what they are and how to get good at them. The first skill is projection. Projection is the volume of your voice, and this can have a huge impact on whether people listen to you and what they believe about you. You see, what people tend to do is they talk quite quietly. They talk at a regular conversational volume, maybe a 3 out of 10. But a 3 out of 10 is not going to cut it on stage. No, if you're speaking to more than 10 people, you need to lift that from a 3 to a 6 so that your voice reaches the back of the room. There's other benefits too. Number 1, your words are going to be more crisp when you speak, because when we talk louder, our words become more clear. Number 2, you're going to come across more confident. You're not going to seem scared and shy. No, you're going to seem like you're owning the stage. And number 3, almost forgot a finger there, you are going to engage the room more. So work on your projection. And while you're doing that, work on this second skill, eye contact. It sounds simple, but so many people get eye contact terribly wrong. If they're presenting in the room with the audience, there can be 2 problems. One problem is that the person becomes a starer, locks onto one individual and looks at them throughout the entire presentation. It's almost like they don't want to let them go. Or something which is a little more common is what I call the scanner. And this person, they look around the room, they look at all of their audience's eyes, but they never really connect with anyone. They're just sort of glazing over them. And then online, it gets even worse because people don't look into their audience's eyes. Instead, they look at the screen. And when I'm looking at the screen like this, I'm not looking into your eyes from your perspective. I've got to find my camera. I've got to make friends with my lens to connect with my audience on the other side. And if I'm in the room, I don't want to scan or stare. No, instead I want to hold eye contact with one person for a few seconds and then move on to the next one and then the next one. A nice way to think about this, one person, one sentence. When you're saying one sentence, to look at one individual. And then for the next sentence, look at another. That'll help you work your way around the room, engaging everyone who is there. The third skill is storytelling. Now this is a huge topic, which I've made many videos on, but let me give you some key tips for storytelling. When you're telling a story, you want to have a relatable problem in the story. For example, I could tell you the story about my client Barbara, who was very, very nervous about public speaking. She used to get really tense. She used to even shake with her notes when she was up there speaking. Now that is a relatable problem because most people have the fear of public speaking. The next thing your story needs to have is a solution. So I said to Barbara, why not try do something before a presentation that makes you feel good, that puts you in a good mood, that loosens your nerves off a little bit. So Barbara thought about this, and what she decided to do was before a presentation, she went to the bathroom, but instead of using the toilet, she locked the door and then started salsa dancing. And she found that dancing helped her feel more loose, helped her feel more relaxed when she had to present. Now, after you've explained the solution, you then need to share the results. So what happened with Barbara? Well, after her little salsa trip to the toilet, she came out of there and then delivered the best presentation she'd ever delivered. Her nerves weren't completely gone, but they were a lot less. And she felt more relaxed, she felt more loose, more of her personality came through. Why? Because she did something that made her feel good before she presented. You see, by showing the result, you inspire the audience to follow in your footsteps. In other words, you might be more inspired to try and do something that makes you feel good the next time you have to present. So problem, solution, result is an easy way to convey a story. Which brings me on nicely to the fourth skill, clarity. Have you ever seen a map of the London Underground system? It looks so complex, and you know something? It looks like most people's presentations. People have a habit of making presentations so complex, so daunting with all the information they add in, that people switch off and think, oh, this is just too much for me. What we need to do is make our presentations look more like the Glasgow subway. What does that look like? Well, it's just one big circle because there's only one route. In other words, it's simple, it's easy, it's not daunting, it's approachable for any audience. And this is a skill you need to master. You need to take complex topics and find a way to make them simple. You need to take the London Underground and make it look like the Glasgow Underground. Your fifth and final skill is impact. And this is all about the end of your presentation. You need to learn how to make your endings count. Now, I've done many different videos on how to end presentations, but what I'll say today is one technique which is really simple that everyone can use is a powerful question. Ending on a powerful question almost continues the life of your presentation. It makes people think about your point, your message as they drive home, as they continue on with their day. So what you need to do is look at your presentation, find your key message, and then create a question which is related to that message. For example, if I was to summarize this video and end it on a question right now, I might ask you, so out of those 5 skills, which one are you going to start mastering?